everybody, JC here with another T&I toy review. And today's review is in association with MarvelousNews.com, your #1 news source for everything Marvel. And for today's review, I'm going to be taking a look at the brand new Marvel Legends 6-inch Avengers themed Songbird figure from Hasbro. Now this figure is packaged in the same style we see with all the Marvel Legend figures. Up at the top you've got the Legend Series logo. The figure is clearly displayed in the window box. Down below you've got the Avengers logo and the name of the character. On the side of the packaging you just have artwork for the character, and then on the back of the packaging you have a look at the actual figure, a brief bio in multiple languages, and then down below a look at all the figures in the wave that you need to get in order to complete the Thanos Marvel Cinematic Universe Build-A-Figure. Alright, let's get this open and take a look at what's inside. So here's a look at the figure outside the packaging along with the other content. So first of all, you get the right arm for the Thanos Marvel Cinematic Universe Build-A-Figure, and I'll be taking a look at the Thanos figure in its own review once we've looked at all the figures in this wave, so be sure to check back for that. Now the only accessory that comes with the actual figure is this effect piece that is made to mimic her powers. It's done with a semi-translucent pink type plastic that's shaped like wings, and basically her power is that she can make these sound constructs kind of like claw, and she can use them to fly and stuff. I think she can do other kind of constructs other than just the wings, but that's primarily what she does, is the wings, and she flies around and stuff. Now originally she went by the name Screaming Mimi, where she would actually scream with a sonic type voice, but then at one point she goes on a rampage and actually burns her voice out, and then later is recruited by Baron Zemo to join the Thunderbolts. Baron Zemo has the team's fixer or mechanic, who is named the Fixer, create the shoulder harness, which is basically allows her to continue to use her powers even though her voice is no longer working. So basically, instead of being able to scream, now she creates the sonic constructs, and that's what this accessory is made to represent. And you got the little peg here, and you've got a hole in the figure's back. Now you've got to slide it up underneath the figure's hair for it to fit. So you have to kind of lift the head up first and then plug it in. And then I will note that when you plug this in, it does kind of make the figure top heavy, so she doesn't stand that well when you have the construct plugged into the figure's back. You have to kind of have her lean forward a bit, otherwise she's going to fall backwards. You can also use a flight stand and have her fly and stuff. Kind of surprised they didn't modify this and use this with the recent Toys R Us exclusive Phoenix set. I think this would have worked pretty well as the Phoenix effect for Jean Grey. Okay, so for the figure itself, this mold we've seen before, most recently with the Toy Biz Retro Black Widow figure. It's the same torso, same legs, and same upper arms as that Black Widow figure. And you can see here with my Black Widow, I am using that more recent Rider Series head sculpt. But it is the same body between these two. Now the hands are different, and obviously the head sculpts are different. And she's got some forehead showing, and they've used a very glossy kind of skin tone, so it definitely picks up the light. She's got green eyes, and then she's got that fluorescent purplish pink lipstick, which matches her wings, and then also matches the little symbol on her harness, shoulder harness piece, and her belt buckle. And then with her hair is done with just the white color for most of it, and then she's got this darker maroon striping on the front, which is in keeping with how she appears in the comic. Now this shoulder piece is a separate piece, and it's done with just a gold plastic. Now this has appeared differently in the comics. When they originally introduced Songbird, this shoulder piece had little ridges that kind of stuck out on the shoulders, and then later on they did it more smooth like this. So this is in keeping with how it has appeared in the comic, just not her original look when she first appeared in the Thunderbolts. Now the lower arms are different from Black Widow. You've got these wrist gauntlets that she's wearing, which are sculpted on there, and that's done with more of a metallic gold. And then she's got different hands. Her hands are kind of sticking out in a flight type position. The belt is a separate piece, again done with that gold plastic. And then you've just got this dark navy color throughout most of the costume, with the white on the chest and then the white down the legs. So overall the paint applications, while basic, do look pretty good on the figure overall. So the figure itself stands just a little bit over 6 inches tall, and then if you count to the tips of her wings, she stands about 8 inches tall. Here's a comparison with that Toy Biz Retro Black Widow figure, and these two are about the same height. Okay, and unfortunately we really don't have a very good representation of the original Thunderbolts in 6-inch Marvel Legend form. Songbird really is kind of the first. Hasbro did give us a version of Moonstone in that San Diego Comic-Con exclusive Thunderbolts box set, which I actually don't have. And then here we have the Beetle, who later on does become Mach 1 and in fact is the boyfriend of Songbird. And then Cage here, who at one point becomes the leader of the Thunderbolts. But really it would be nice if Hasbro does give us the rest of the original Thunderbolts at some point. And finally, here's a comparison with the most recent Hasbro Marvel Legend Baron Zemo figure. Now, if you're not familiar with the Thunderbolts, or at least the original Thunderbolts, they were basically a team put together by Baron Zemo. They were all supervillains that changed their identities to pretend to be superheroes. Eventually, most of them became actual superheroes, but it started out as they were villains that were masquerading as heroes, led by Baron Zemo, who took on the identity of Citizen V. And then also Radioactive Man at one point briefly joins the team and served with Songbird. Okay, so for articulation on the figure, you can have her look down pretty good. Now with the long hair, she really can't look up very much. And then when you have the sound construct attached to her back, she definitely can't really look back very much. You can also pivot her head to the left and the right. And of course, you can turn the head to the left and to the right. Arms attached with your standard ball hinge joint there at the shoulder, so she can get her arm out good. She's got good rotation. Now the shoulder pads get in the way a little bit, but you can still rotate the arm all the way around. She has just the single hinged elbow, so she can bend her elbow about that much, and then you've got rotation at the elbow, you've got rotation at the hands and hinges on the hands, so you've got up and down movement there. She's got a midsection joint, so you can rotate there at the midsection. You can also pivot to the left and to the right there. She really can't crunch forward that much, and then she can look back pretty good there at the midsection. She does not have a waist swivel. Legs, she can only do the splits that much. You can get the leg forward and high pretty good, and then you can do the leg out and back pretty good as well. You've got a thigh swivel, double jointed knee, so good bending at the knee, and then with the feet you've got hinges, so up and down movement, and you do have ankle pivot and 2 peg holes on the bottom of the feet. Okay, so that's my review. So I would say this is a pretty good figure overall. It does have basic paint applications, and when you attach the effect piece, it does become top heavy, which you want to be wary of. But overall, I think they've done a good job of capturing the character's likeness from the comic books. The biggest downside for me is when I look at this figure, it makes me wish that Hasbro would have done the other original Thunderbolts as well. Hopefully they will eventually give us those characters, but right now, you know, just having Songbird and I guess Moonstone, if you had the box set, is it, and it kind of, you know, this figure is just not as appealing to me without the other Thunderbolt members. But like I said, if you are a fan of this character, I think you'll definitely want to check this out. Now this figure, along with the rest of the wave, has started to see a limited release here in the United States. I've seen reports of people starting to find them at places like Walgreens. We'll have a full image gallery up at marvelousnews.com. There'll be a link in the video description below. As always, leave a comment, let me know what you think. If you're so inclined, please like the video. Also, please hit that subscribe button down below if you haven't already. I'd really appreciate it. You can also follow me on my Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram accounts. I have links to those in the video description as well. And until next time, guys, I'll catch you later.